Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing my first monthly flip through in 2024 in my Hobonichi Cousin. This is the Hobonichi Cousin Avec, and in this video, I'm going to go through all of the spreads that I have for the month of January, which will include my year at a glance, my monthly spread, my weekly spread, and my daily spreads. So if you would be interested to see how I used my Hobonichi Cousin in January 2024, then go ahead and keep watching. All right, so we are really quickly just gonna go ahead and open. I don't have like side tabs. All of my tabs are down at the bottom, and I like them down here instead of on the side. So we're going to flip to my year at a glance. Now, if you watched any of my videos in 2023, I have changed the way I am using this page in 2024. So I have at the very top, I do still track the total number of books I read, the total number of pages that I read. I do have a subscription count, like how they have increased or potentially, hopefully never decrease, but I do have my subscriber count for my planning channel, which is the channel you are watching, and my reading channel, which if you would like to see reading content, then definitely check me out on my reading channel. And then the main body of this page in 2023, I used as a habit tracker and a mood tracker. I have since changed it because what I found was in 2023 for my daily journaling that I used on my daily pages, it was hard for me to remember if I was trying to look for something in particular that, whatever I was looking for. It was hard for me to remember exactly when I wrote that particular thing down. So instead, I have decided I'm going to use my yearly page to annotate those like key things that I think I might want to go back to later. So I do have like a little dot for the pages that has a picture on it. And then I do have a little snippet or like a few words of what that journal entry is about. So I do have 5 pictures that I took and put in my daily pages, which you will see in a little bit. So I have a girls and fuel day 1. So this was the beginning of the year. So I had a picture of my girls on January 1st, and then my workout day 1. We have my oldest birthday. We have a picture of my youngest who is sick. We did have on some snow, some ice, and then I did have down here, it's not a picture, but I did have, had to put my car in maintenance. And so I have a sticky, which you will see in a little bit, of how much it's going to cost potentially to get my shocks and struts replaced versus just the struts. So it's really not anything that you would probably even make sense of, but it was just my notes when I was on the phone with the mechanic. So that's what I'm using this section for in my yearly pages. And then at the bottom, I have some important dates that I wanted to remember for that particular month. So this is my updated yearly page compared to what I did in 2023. And then we're going to flip to the monthly page, which I did do a video on. So if you would like to see me set up my monthly page, then I'll try to link it somewhere on the screen. But this also dramatically changed from 2023. In last year, I used the monthly page as a weather and temperature tracker. I have now changed to use this actually as what a planner monthly page would essentially look like. So I have over here is my no spend. So all of the days that have like a dot on them, or days that I did not spend any money for items outside of the norm, not including like groceries and bills and things like that. But this is like extra clothes or coffee or some things that I don't need. That was the days that if I did not have those purchases, then I marked that day. So I did have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days during the month when I did end up spending money on unnecessary items. And then this is my to-do list. I obviously have not done one thing, which I keep putting off because I am a procrastinator, kind of, but mostly I just don't like being on the phone, so I don't like calling people. And so that's why that has not been checked. But this is my monthly page. I am going to try to continue this method because I do actually kind of like the look of this versus my weather tracker. If you are curious, I am still tracking the temperature, but I'm tracking it in my Hobonichi 5-year journal. And I think that's a better place for it because then I'll have like 5 years of data that I can compare to show how the weather has changed on any particular day. So I am tracking weather. I'm just not tracking it in my cousin this year. And now we're going to flip to the weekly pages. All right, so we have the first week of the year. I believe I did a plan with me on this. This I ended up using some older stickers that I had left over from Coffee Monsters Co. You'll probably notice the majority of all of my stickers are from Coffee Monsters Co. I do also have some stickers that I have created that I don't believe are active anymore on my Etsy shop. If you would like to see, or if you would like to purchase, like I have a laptop, I have the laundry, I think I have a car icon and a laptop icon in here as well. But if you would like to see those, I can activate them again. But the majority of my stickers are going to be Coffee Monsters Co. And I am trying to kind of shop my stash this year because I have two like metal rings full of stickers that I want to really try to get rid of. So this was using some old stickers that I had. This was the Lucky Charms stickers along with some other, I think, stickers throughout here. But this is what a typical week looks like for me, which I do really enjoy. And then this was using I love this washi. This is probably one of my favorite washies that Coffee Monsters Co. puts out because I am a huge reader and I really do enjoy this washi. Specifically, I also love the color like brown and neutrals. So definitely like this. And then I had some other washi that I got from Coffee Monsters Co. as well. And that was this week. And then this was a very chaotic week. For those of you who are not in the South or not part of the like storm that came through from like Texas all the way to, I believe, even to like Georgia, but all of the states down south had a lot of weird winter weather. And so this week, Martin Luther King was on the 15th. So everyone was off of school. I was off of work on this day. And then we had snow and then we had ice, and literally the entire week school was closed, everything was closed, you could barely find a store that was open, and it was mostly, which you'll see in a little bit, it was not because of snow. We did not get, where I lived, we did not get any snow. We got like a dusting, a little sprinkling of snow, if you'll say, and the rest of it was a thick sheet of ice. That was what we got where I live. So this is a sticker kit that I bought a while ago. This was actually a sticker kit that I bought, and it was not like a leftover sticker kit of like older things that I've used. This was a fresh kit that I bought specifically for this purpose because I knew that there was going to be some like winter weather at some point. So back in like May or June of 2023, I bought this sticker kit specifically because I knew I was going to need it. So I have this sticker kit, which essentially was I still had to work. So this entire week I still worked because I telework. I was supposed to go into the office, but obviously with everything closed, I couldn't. But I did end up teleworking, so I still had work and all of that. But it made it even worse because the girls were home, and working while my girls are home, I'm not something that's very fun for me. So that was this week. It was a very chaotic and very all over the place week. So I'm glad that was only a week and not anything more. And then this was the 22nd through the 28th. We actually had, the girls did not go to school on Monday. They finally went back to school on the 23rd. So they had like a total of 10 days off, including the weekends. So I was ready for them to get back to school. They were not, but I was. So this was this week. And if you notice, I usually have this bottom piece from 9 p.m. typically until about 1 a.m. is when I do the majority of my reading. Because like I said earlier, I am a huge reader and this is my dedicated reading time. And I usually will put down like what book I'm reading, the percentage of like how far I am into that book. And then if I did finish the book, I will also give its rating. So this part at the bottom is all reading. Oops. And then this is the last week of January. Today is actually February the 4th, but this will give you an idea of what this week looks like. And I, again, just use a bunch of washi, and that's pretty much my decorating. I don't really decorate a lot on my weekly pages, as you see, because I use this functionally. I like to see what I'm doing during the day, my time blocks that I have set up for different tasks, and this is how I enjoy using my planner. So now we're going to flip to my daily pages. And so we have this first page. The first page of the month is always blank before you actually get into the daily pages. So what I'm going to end up doing on this page is I'm going to put my reading statistics, just so that way I know kind of what I read and how much I read during that month. I did plan on having some pictures. I actually have a picture here. This is Feyre from ACOTAR, or A Court of Thorns and Roses. I thought about putting this here, but I already have her in my reading journal, so I don't think I'm going to put this. This is just an extra picture that I printed out, and I don't quite know what I want to do with her. But I was going to put pictures down here and kind of use this as like just a sticker page. And then we're going to get into my daily journaling. All of what I wanted to really quickly talk about in here, or actually through my Hobonichi, in my monthly pages, my weekly pages, and my year at a glance, everything that you've seen up to this point, I have used my Muji N038. That has been the pen that I use throughout this spreads. But in my daily pages, I have been trying to use a fountain pen, and I did end up changing fountain pens. I did have TWSBIs, and I realized the body of those TWSBIs are too thick for me writing comfortably. So I did go on Amazon and I got 2 new fountain pens, which I actually have really been enjoying. And all of the writing that you're going to see going forward is using fountain pens. So I do have this and they're just fake Chinese or foreign fountain pens, but I do have this one, and this one is actually a very heavy metal body fountain pen, and it's got a fine, both of these have fine tips, but it is a wonderful black matte fountain pen. It has a nice clip to it when you put the cap back on. It's got that nice little click sound. Listen. Oh, it's so good. But we do have this pen, which is probably one of my favorite fountain pens of the 2. And then the other fountain pen I have is a fake Pilot Vanishing Point. This was because I am maybe contemplating getting the Vanishing Point for my birthday in May, but I wanted to see how the writing was because it's got the clip on this side and it's a little bit thicker than this body style. So I wanted to try it out before I decided to spend $160+ on a fountain pen. But this is the pen. I will say, again, this is just a fake, foreign made fountain pen. And it actually is really nice. I have noticed though that the tip on I think this is called the fennel, I don't know what it is, but it does get a little clogged sometimes. So again, this isn't the official Pilot pen, but I will say I do really enjoy writing with it. It has a nice weight to it, and I really do enjoy this. And both of the pens are inked with the archival ink, and that's what you'll see. So now that we've talked about pens, let's get into the actual stuff. So we do have the layout of my daily pages is I have this first part over here on the left is going to be everything like my today, to-do list. And then I also have a section for social media. So that's where I'll put down if I have to do an Instagram post or if I'm planning to do YouTube videos or maybe even TikToks. That's kind of where I have a to-do list of all of my social media postings. And then the other section is for my journaling. And I typically have the top part, so the first like paragraph is my morning journal, and then I'll have like an afternoon, evening journal, just so that way I have kind of a thought going into the day, and then I have a thought after the day is complete. So we do have, like I said, this is the January the 1st. I wanted to take a picture of both of my girls at the beginning of the year, so that way I have something to show their growth throughout the year. And then this is a picture of me starting my workout plan. This is day 1 of my workout plan, which I had to restart because I did not stick to it. So I am back starting in the end of January, starting the plan all over again. So while I was excited to start a good workout starting on January the 1st, it did not stick. So we're going to try it again, and hopefully this time it'll stick. And then we have the 2nd and the 3rd. This is a school holiday, and then the girls go back to school. So I usually have in my daily journal, it's mostly all words, and then I use stickers to kind of explain quickly what happened in those words. So I can see here, this is like a picture of behind a laptop with a bunch of papers and pens. So this is me going back to work. And then I have this one is my feet hurt, I'm crying, it looks like I'm sore. So this is probably tied to working out. And yeah, so I said day 2 workout done, and I'm scared how sore I will be tomorrow. So that's that. We have going back to school, tired, sore, exhausted, all of the above. And then we have this. I'm not going to go about what's in my daily journal. It's my personal life, but just that way you can kind of see how I decorate my planning. And then there are some instances like on here, you'll see I have kind of half a day or half a page written. And then you'll see here it's a little bit less, and here it's a little bit less. And then going into it, you're going to see where there's literally nothing written. And that's kind of what happened for that day. So again, we have a doctor, we have rain and storming and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of an idea of what this day was like. And then we have my oldest had her 14th birthday. So we have pictures of her birthday party. And then this was the start of school being closed. So we had school closed. This was because of weather. So this was before the ice and storm. So school got canceled because of really bad thunderstorms and things that were supposed to come through. And my area is very sensitive to storms. I have figured that out. In like middle Georgia, storms really didn't mean anything. Even if it was serious storms with a chance of a tornado, we would still end up going to school. Here in northern Alabama, if there's bad weather, bad storms, they tend to close school without any other reasoning other than there's a threat of bad weather. So school was closed because of weather. And then we had the 14th. This was my youngest, who basically was just sick all day. So she was in either napping or just kind of laying around. This was her on my couch, just completely passed out. So that was on Sunday. And then on Monday, this was Martin Luther King Day. This was if you can see, the teeny tiny amount of snow that we got where I live. So we thought we were going to get a good 6 inches of snow, and that did not happen. We got this much snow, but we also got a ton of ice. And so this was Martin Luther King. This was our snow. And then this is what it looked like outside of my house, which when we woke up, my kids were like, oh, okay, white. It looks like, there's some snow that we can play with, make a little snowman. But no, that was just a thick sheet of ice. And that continued for the entire week. So school was closed on Tuesday because of this. And then no school. Again, no school. No school. And because there was no school, I really didn't have that many pictures because the girls couldn't really go outside and make any kind of snowmen or anything. So everyone was pretty much just homebound. And this day was actually not a good day because you always know it's a bad day at work when I start counting or going into the system to find out when I'm able to retire. And I found out on January the 18th that I only have 4,513 days left before I would be able to retire. So that's how much that day was stressing me out, because I had looked forward so many days to see when I could retire. So I do that periodically. That's usually whenever I see this in my notes, I know it was a rough day, because there would be no need for me to look toward retirement that far in advance. But that's what happened that day. And then again, not much here. Sunday was just a cleaning day, so I have a picture, like a little picture of a girl with some chips that said how I feel after doing laundry and vacuuming. I just wanted to lounge around and eat chips all day because I was just tired. And then we have the 22nd. Again, this was no school. This was the last day of them having to be home for school because of ice on the roads. And then this was where I said, so excited, because the girls were finally going back to school. I was so excited about that. And then Wednesday and Thursday. So this was, typically I try to journal every single day. Wednesday, I ended up having to go into the office and working from my office. And I do not take my planner with me whenever I go to work. I usually take my common planner, which is kind of the same thing as what I have here, but without the daily pages. So I did not take this with me to work. And on Wednesday and on Thursday, I have my schedule. So basically I woke up, shower, got dressed, I drove to work, I worked to the office from 8 to 3:30, drove home, and then on this day, on Wednesday, I drove home, I picked up my youngest to go to gymnastics, came home, had dinner, dishes and clean, Zoe's nighttime, and then I finally got to rest. And during that entire process, I was not in my office upstairs. I did not even come upstairs at all on this day or on this day, because this day basically mimics this, but instead of taking my youngest to gymnastics like I did on Wednesday, I took my oldest to gymnastics on Thursday. But other than that, everything was basically the same. So I try to, even if I don't have any daily journaling during that particular day, I'll try to explain why. So I did do something. It's not just a blank page. And this at least gives me an idea of what's happening on that particular day. So that was what those 2 days look like. And then we had Friday. Again, this was what I was saying. This is my shocks and struts. So I just had some like notes as to what was told to me by the maintenance guy that I was talking to at the time. So that way, if I decide to go back, or if I want to get struts at a different place at a different time, then I have kind of the quotes and ideas of what I was originally quoted at my current maintenance shop. So that is that. And then we have nothing really on the 29th, the 28th, or nothing really on the 27th. And then we had the 28th, and then the 29th, I have me reading a book, because this was me going to book club. So I have like a little paragraph of me going to my book club. And then we have the 30th and the 31st. So that is my daily journaling. And I will say that in 2023, this process that I have used and kind of the layout that I used in my daily journal worked very well. I did a daily journal entry in 2023 every single day. So I'm doing the same routine in 2024. I don't see me having any issues making a somewhat of a daily journal every day of 2024. And I'm super excited to see how this planner turns out. Specifically, I'm really curious to see how the yearly, like the year at a glance page turns out. And I'm thinking I'm really going to like this index type page much, much, much better than my habit and my mood tracker that I did in 2023. With that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I do have some Plan With Me's scheduled or on the schedule for February. So definitely, if you have not done so, please make sure you like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see everybody in my next video. Bye.